So, here we are again. Everything has grown over outside. And let's continue looking here. Yes. Here we are at the sloth farm. In the past, during the East German times, it was called the sloth farm because there was an office here where people worked who were probably so lazy, I don't know. And the whole area here was also called Schwindelschweiß, you know. In Schwindelschweiß at the sloth farm. It was always said. Let's see if we can get anywhere. So far it looks pretty bad. Maybe through a window here. Let's see. It's on the other side. In the basement there. Down there is a basement, and there's the bowling alley. But it's not here. Yes. Now we are here in some kind of dining hall, I think. That was a dining room. Back then, from the large office building, this was the dining room, and the kitchen was back here. Here was the kitchen. It's not anything anymore. All empty. The screw supplies are still here. But that's about it. And small cabins were probably here once. There are only gloves and somehow some clothes lying here. It somehow looks like someone, maybe a burglar, undressed here or something. No idea. Yeah, and that was it from the dining room. First of all, there's a hatch up here. But I don't feel like climbing up there right now. There's no ladder here either. So, let's try to move on somehow. There's something back there. We'll want to take another look there soon. The room back there, to see if we can get any further. Here. There are very small chambers, dark and narrow. Let's take a look here quickly before the spiders come back. There are already strong cobwebs all over the room, I just noticed. That's why I'm not going in there, and we'll show it from the outside. Small sinks here as well. And here is another toilet. We don't really need to go in there now. And here's another toilet. So, that was from this room here. That was the dining hall. So we've crawled into a kind of basement shaft. Here. And here is an oil saver plus thingy, which doesn't look too bad, and is from the West Times. I wouldn't have said that this is such a new thing, because actually, everything here has been empty since the reunification. Let's see if we can get further here. Here's another basement. Everything seems to have collapsed here. Here's also a not too old box for electricity. Here's another very old one from East Times. That one could also be from the reunification period. It's also here in the West. Anyway, there's just trash down here. Oh well. Let's keep looking. Looks like a bunker here. Let's see how far we can get here. But I think we won't get too far here. Probably. We won't be able to get into a big building here. I can't imagine that. Sitting here and shining a lamp still here in such a room. There are still some panes here somehow, from East Times. The good old panes. Replacement panes. What's here? Oh, here's the heating oil storage room. Look at that. Is it open? No, it gives you the creeps. It also smells so strong. Honestly, I bet there's still something in here. There seems to be heating oil still in here, because it really smells strongly of heating oil there. I think the barrels behind are probably still filled. But that stuff must be so old by now. You can't use it anymore. Heating oil, it thickens and clumps over time. You can't use it anymore. If it's been empty for 30 years, then you can forget about it. What's this here? Just a small cellar dungeon? Nothing special? So next room. Let's continue here. Oh. Now through the wall, somehow there's a hatch here, like a real bunker. Go over there. There's a real bunker here. Where does this lead to? Now somehow further? Go over there with your head and go there. And come in or out into the old woods. Old pure kitchen. I'll get in. So, now we're here. So, the bunker shaft, it just led outside. It didn't lead to another building. And down here is a toilet still in the basement. A very strange, ancient toilet. In this disgusting basement here, I'm amazed. Why did they make a toilet? Did someone really come out here into the basement? Maybe for the janitor. But surprisingly, there are 2 toilets here. Yeah, there's nothing more here. We were hoping to get into a big building, but apparently not. We can kick around and explore a bit more. But I think no, you can't get through anywhere here. Let's see, what's this here? Smoking, handling with fire, and open light is not prohibited by the police. Now it goes to distribution times. What was given out here? Tuesday from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. Something was given out here, up here, yes. Not prohibited by the police. Well, it's a shame we can't get into a big building now, but maybe we'll find a way. Otherwise, the beings will wait here for now, and we'll drive to the next lost place. But we'll take a look around to see if there's maybe an entrance somewhere. So we have now found an entrance, after all, into a large building. This is quite a long junk here. There are also a lot of small office buildings, office rooms here. Take a look through here. Already overgrown. Let's see how far we can get. Everything. Here. It was a reception area, but it says reception area. And that was for kicking out bodies without any significant penalty or repercussions in the game. Players were repeatedly and consistently doing this, but without Yes. Now we are at the large main building, and here is the reception area. Information, consultation, sales, lead, ornamentation. Turn off the flashlight and apply it to the woman. Now not only... Here is another toilet. We have to be careful again because there are people everywhere outside. Yes, we really need to be careful. A little bit. What is here? Mrs. Wendland and Mrs. Gruneberg. It's already growing today, isn't it? A tree. Oh. Yes, it's not that great here now. I would rather imagine that up there are some remains or furniture inside. But here everything is really gone. But the pier comes down here. And otherwise nothing else. Strangely enough, You can still look up there. Maybe you can somehow... You can't come here. I'm running now. Maybe you can somehow still get into the basement. Oh, all the way around here. But there's nothing more either. There should be a basement room here too. So far we haven't found a basement yet. We'll look around the floor once more. And then wait. Because it's getting a bit too hot, as there are people wandering around everywhere outside. So, it really seems like there's no basement here. Thousands without a basement. We're just going through this floor. We won't do the next ones anymore. Here are more toilets again. Probably exactly the same as below. They won't look any different upstairs. Therefore, the thing has been standing here empty for ages. Since about 1991, or at the latest, this thing has been empty here. And really not anymore. It's not gutted yet. Probably because there's asbestos in the building. No one dares to tackle the place. But the demolition is probably too expensive. But in any case, you have here all the furniture taken out. Yes. Well, so not as special as I thought. But at least we were inside for a moment. Gave you a glimpse. Here, the top floor, let's leave it out. They won't be any better than what we've already seen here. Therefore, we'd better make a quick exit before anyone else shows up. Oh. Where did you see the basement? There's a hole with an entry. But whether that's the basement, I don't know. No, that's not a proper basement, but a small air raid shelter for a few people who don't want it. But unfortunately, it's not a real basement. No. Well, so that was it then. I actually thought there was a huge basement underneath here, as it sometimes is. Often you have a situation where the basement under the buildings is larger than the building itself. But apparently not here. It was just here in front under the building. That's a basement. Well, all right. Then let's make a nimbus here, for example.